Hello, my name is Carx82, and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. I decided, just kind of like minor little break from crafting up the Eye of Harmony, I would craft up a second one of these. So I've gone ahead and got that. And I had enough resources. Now that we have so many resources come in from the Eye of Harmony, it is not a problem in the slightest getting the resources for all these. They just take a little bit of time crafting up. Oh, I just realized I forgot to do... Whoops, I forgot to do the things. UEV wireless. That'd be funny if, like, I went to go craft that up and then I didn't have some resource after I just said I had all the resources. Yeah, so... Shoot, that might mess that up. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, no, it's building most of it. Well, yeah, I just don't want it. I always say this, but I have the wireless craft table in my inventory, it will pull random hatches and stuff, and I don't want it to do that. Yeah, if I do that right now, it might put stuff there, and I don't really want it doing that. And it's gotten quite a bit easier crafting up massive compact fusion. Remember the first one we crafted up? Holy cow, it felt like so long ago. And now we're on the 5th one. Alright. I do need to replace the hatches. There's no hatches on it. That's why it's going to be incomplete. But we'll do that. And I have a couple casings left over. But there we go. There is the 5th one. Basically crafted up. Or the Compact 5, the second one. And we will continue to replace them. Although they aren't, with the Eye of Harmony dumping out so many plasmas, it's not like as super important as they used to be. So all these plasmas that calcium and plasma used to take forever, we have a lot of them now. I don't think we have everything, but we do have a pretty extensive amount of the plasmas. The more unique ones, obviously we still have to craft up, but hopefully... Oh, that's right. I switched those are on the old. I was just thinking, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's hooked up. Are we putting stuff in there? But no. Also, I keep forgetting, I threw a thing there so I can easily access both hatches at the same time. I keep forgetting to do that. Alright, well those will just take... Actually, they're not taking much time at all, to be honest. Man, it's crazy. 32 wireless UEV wind energy hatches, and we crafted it, what, in a few minutes? That's so funny. Alright, so I am... Probably after this, I will start crafting up the stabilization ones. We'll get those switched out. And then the time dilation field generators, which speed up the recipe. So I think basically the stabilization ones boost the percent chance and all that, and then the power you get from it, because right now it is actually negative. So once we switch these out with the tier 9s, we should be in the positive range for our Eye of Harmony. So I will probably... I might just let that run. Because I've been running it for resources. So majority of the stuff we are pretty good on now. We have 10 billion gold and stuff like that. Obviously there is some resources we haven't got tons of, but I mean, we're still like in the hundreds of millions for all this stuff. It's pretty cool to see this, actually. I think that looks really cool, seeing all our digital singularities. Yeah, so this is all the stuff we've basically gotten from the Eye of Harmony. I was thinking about finally getting rid, not get rid of, but like dealing with this, because we do have some resources in here that we don't really need in here anymore. Like platinum and osmium. Although rhodium, now that I think about it, rhodium, I don't think we get that from the Eye of Harmony. Oh, we do. No, we get it from space mining. Yeah, there are still a couple things we don't get from the Eye of Harmony. So that is something to keep in mind. We will have, it's not like I can give up the Eye of Harmony completely. I am kind of hoping most of it, once we finally get the final tier, I'm hoping this is most of the stuff that we won't get from the thing, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really looked at it. All right, so I guess, yeah, let me get the compact finished, and I think I need to, we'll start working on, I guess since this, I should start working on like these parts first. Like we'll do the infinite and then these space times. It's just going to take like real time crafting them up because the recipes are so slow. So I've got the compact up and running, and I realized I was short on glowstone, and as I was looking through the recipes for glowstone, there doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to come from the deep dark, which is a bit of a pain. I do think eventually we will have a couple Eye of Harmonies producing resources, so we could use like different tiers. What I've done is gone ahead, crafted up the Centauri one, so we can do that. It looks like that is possibly the... I'm not entirely sure how the things work, because if you look at the, like, this has 1.2 million glowstone dust, Centauri has 4.1, but then it's like percentage of solid mass. I'm not sure if you get the entire... I think you get every single thing on here when it succeeds, but I'm not like fully sure how it works. I'm pretty sure you don't get like random, it's not like a random chance for some of them. But what I did want to point out is I noticed that these hatches, when I was doing the original one, we can see there it's like totally backed up. It seems to get stuck. Like I have nowhere for this Centauri stone dust to go. So the whole thing will get stuck. But when I think this is the one that has room. Yeah. When I add this, I think that's the stone dust, right? It should allow that to empty, and then it should go down like the list until it gets stuck again. Alright, so that emptied the entire thing. So we had recipes for, we had places for every single thing on here to go from the deep dark, but since it had nowhere for that to go, this hatch got stuck. So I didn't realize that was like how it worked. Yeah, so I already had drives and void things for this, but it couldn't empty because the very top one. So if I hadn't had a place for like manganese, it would, when I had done that, it would void all that, then it would put all these in, and then it would get stuck on the manganese and everything below it. So it's just kind of interesting the way it's programmed. I just thought I would show that, but hopefully we are getting lots and lots of glowstone now. Yes, I think I had 20 million last I checked. I have, I thought I was going to need some more digital singularities, but apparently I already had all that. Like, just looking at this, I'm like, I don't know if I've set disk drives for all of this, but yeah, I think we're good. All right, yeah. So it does look like you do actually get that full amount. All right, cool. That's good to know for like the future. If I'm like low on something, I can just throw a different thing because they all have like different amounts. You know, there's 4 million and then 2.9 million. And then there's some that like don't have it at all. So, all right. Good to know. But I do have, I've started crafting up with some of these. So I was short on the things. It's for all the optical circuits. The optical circuits just go through glowstone like crazy. But all right, now that I have that running, I can probably start removing some of these bees, to be honest. I don't need these all going all the time. There's tons of Cenarian bees in there because the glowstone we were going through. So maybe it's time to start kind of like spring cleaning some of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I do like my wall of bees, but it's kind of, at this point now, it's a little bit obsolete. Okay, we are back. It's been quite some time. Let the world run overnight. We are crafting up the last of our things here. As you can see, we got quite a long process, but the advanced assembly line, it's not too bad if you just let the world run. Every slice is almost like 3 minutes. So let the world run overnight, and we are almost done with those 48 of those. I got the infinite space-time energy things crafted up as well. These aren't too bad. The longest thing in this is the UMV energy hatches that you need. And I'm also, as I'm waiting for the last of these to finish crafting, I just crafted up. I just started crafting 864 of the quantum circuits. So that is kind of where we're at right now. I figured as we're waiting for those, we might as well get this stuff crafted up. I have done a few adjustments in recipes, namely tritanium. We used to craft up molten tritanium in the fusion reactor. So if we remember, it is actually 2 fusion recipes. You have to do the molten duranium first, and then the tritanium recipe. Well, we are actually getting tritanium from the Eye of Harmony now. So what I've switched it over from crafting up molten tritanium to crafting up or smelting the dust and then extracting the ingots. So that just cuts out two of the whatchamacallit recipes, the compact fusion recipes, because the less recipes in those, the best. I think it just spreads out the crafting. I do have 2 now, which that makes a pretty huge difference. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I think it's crafting up metastable oganescent. I think we can actually, it's actually going to be faster to put that on the 2 compact fusions now. It just made me kind of think that. Yeah. Didn't we figure out, I can't remember, isn't like one of these, I think one of the compacts is faster than 4 of the Mark IV. So having 2 of the things now is actually going to be faster than having 4 of the compact 4, I think. with the perfect overclock, because you do get perfect overclocking with the compact 5. So, all right, yeah, I think that at this point, I'm not gonna remove the. I don't think I'm gonna take the stuff out, and we'll just let that craft up, and then we won't worry about it again. I might actually want to change that recipe. I don't want to mess with it, just in case, because sometimes if you change it, it kind of screws the stuff up, but... Okay, actually, it's not going to craft up anymore, so I can't change it. It's already... It thinks it's put all the stuff in there, so I can't actually mess with this recipe now. I'm just going to boost the amount. Do have to be a little mindful of the size of the hatches. I can't make it bigger than the hatch size, but I could always increase them. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the humongous input hatches, at least on this version, do not work on the compact. Yeah, because if you look at that, like... that is going through this much, much quicker. This is a 30-second recipe, and it's a 30-second recipe, and it does a smaller amount per craft. So yeah, we'll just let that run, and then from now on it'll be in the other ones. All right, cool. So I did that, did titanium. I've switched over astral titanium. We now craft up the blocks instead of doing the... I think it was the dust. We were doing the dust in the laser engraver, which took forever. And then we alloy blast melted it, which also took forever. So now we're crafting up the blocks directly in the DTPF. We're actually doing this recipe. So yeah, 13 seconds, you get 36 dust, basically, of the astral titanium. So I switched that over, and then I've switched over the recipe to extract it, the blocks, directly into, instead of the ingots. So for things like that, and coils, and all that other stuff, as we can see. That just speeds that up. Also, I've finally switched over our celestial tungsten. Before, we used to laser engrave tungsten dust, which again took forever, and then smelted the ingots, and then froze them, and then melted them down to use in the DTPF. Well, now I just craft up celestial tungsten plasma in the fusion reactor. It is quite a few recipes. I think it's about 15 different recipes, or 12 recipes to actually get the molten. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different plasmas you craft up, but I've gone ahead and switched that over, because now we are getting tartarite from the Eye of Harmony. That makes that final one, molten tartarite, to get the Plunson, was a bit annoying to get, because tartarite ore was a little bit complicated. You can get it from a vein, but you need it from a void miner. There is no space elevator recipe, so it was a bit of a pain getting large amounts, but I finally switched that over as well. So kind of doing some upgrades of the base. Also, I've switched over well, not switched over. Eventually, this will be fully crafted up in... went the wrong place. The quantum force transformer, the living solder, I guess I'm talking about. Eventually, it'll be fully crafted up in this, but I'm kind of like... I keep switching recipes out because I need multiple different recipes in the quantum force transformer. And you go through like hundreds of millions of this stuff. So eventually we will have dedicated quantum force transformers. But what I've done is added a couple of these to craft up the living soldier as well when we have a large craft. So usually these are doing the dragon blood combs, but for particularly large crafts, I have these doing living soldier as well, just to help out a bit. But yeah, like eventually we will be switching fully to the quantum force transformer. So it'll knock out that really quickly. Now that we have 3 chemical plants, fully maxed out size chemical plants, and running at 16 amps of UMV. I do need to, we'll get there. We're almost there. But I do need to start thinking about these wireless hatches too. I do think I need to get my Eye of Harmony up and producing power though, because we are drastically draining all this power. Having all those assembly lines running is really, really draining our power. 16,000 amps of UMV. So, yeah. I think I want to get the Eye of Harmony up, producing power, which it should. We should be in a net positive once we get these crafted up. So we're almost there. Crafting up the circuits, finishing up these time dilation things, and then yeah, I think we'll fully get. I think we'll be producing power with the Eye of Harmony today, actually. Okay, just started crafting up 29 of these because I had some of our quantum circuits done, but they're still crafting up, so not doing the whole thing, but I wanted to at least get them going. But since we have the main parts of it, it is, you can see it's a pretty small recipe. It's not so huge. So we'll just get those going. I did switch out the hatches for the bigger ones just so it could fit more in the subnets. I don't know, it bugs me when it says it can't craft it because there's no room for it to go in the subnet. It doesn't matter, it'll get put in there when it gets put in there, but it still kind of bugs me. So yeah, we've got all those up, and we're in the final stretch here. So just kind of waiting for this to craft up. This is going pretty quick, as we can see. And we should be good. Also, it was pointed out to me on my Discord. Thanks, Itachi. We're actually getting space time from our Eye of Harmony. I didn't realize that. So lots and lots of space time now. We no longer have to do that annoying that one that does the tesseracts, and you only get the 4. I mean, that's 4 ingots. We have 9 million ingots. So, yeah, pretty amazing with the deep dark thing. But we're at the end game, so to be expected. We got 472 million glowstone. I don't have the thing running at the moment. I'm just building up our thing again. Probably going to expand the elevator, maybe even craft up a whole separate one, fully expanded, and then just have hydrogen helium. That's solely producing hydrogen helium, maybe. Yeah, so it can keep up with the Eye of Harmony, because if we start doing more Eye of Harmonies, it's going to be crazy. I don't think there is a faster way than space elevators. I could be wrong, but I think the space elevator is the fastest way. I don't think like a void miner, a void drill or whatever, infinity drill would drill faster than that. I could be wrong. Maybe just spamming infinity pumps would be better. I mean, it's not, there's no way that's faster. Besides, I really don't like the planetary gas siphon. I find it kind of annoying. So yeah, I'm thinking spamming space elevators, because one, they look cool, and two, I think it's the fastest way to do it. But anyway, let me finish this up. Hopefully we should, yeah, we should be plenty good. All the other parts brought it down like 4 billion, and we're not even crafting up that much. So, all right, anyway, we'll come back. Okay, there we go. There are the stabilization field generators. Now we have the final upgrade, which is replacing all those. I think it's like 150 or something like that. So we'll get that 168. Yeah, that's going to take me a little bit more time, but I will probably just do that off camera, not really talk about it. So we can go ahead and we'll switch all these, and then we will see what kind of power we're going to make with this. Well, hopefully this will actually be a decent amount of power. Okay, got it all upgraded, and I've gone ahead, filled it up, and turned it on. So it is, in fact, running. So we got the T9 compression field generator, the T9 stabilization field generator, then the Tier 1 field generator. And we can see how much power are we producing. And yeah, it's not that much. So what I just realized what is probably happening, I hadn't even really thought about this, is that the recipe outputs this much power, and then it is split up on the amount of time the recipe is running, and that is where we're getting that amount. So we're only getting 50 billion EU per tick because I haven't sped it up. As you can see, it's 371,898 seconds. Now, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I think even if we do a tier 5, it's not going to do the awesome, amazing superpower until we get it upgraded fully. Which, I mean, to be honest, we do have super low tier, the very first tier of these dilation field generators. So I'm just going to have this, I'm letting this run. It is producing 50 billion EU per tick, but that is nowhere near enough to replace the thing. So what we are doing is crafting up the 168 of the final things that we need. The dilation things. So as we know, we need 168 of those, and that'll be a fully upgraded thing. And then we are going to be rolling in EU per tick. So I am starting to craft up the parts. I'm just doing it in parts because some of the stuff gets crafted up easier, and then that way it's not all trying to craft up in the same things all at once. So we'll have to get that upgraded, and I promise we'll get it upgraded next episode, and then we will finally be producing insane amount of power. I was kind of hoping it would be a bit higher, but yeah, it is what it is at this point. We only have 2 of the parts fully upgraded. If I wanted, I could probably... I was thinking I could maybe do like a cheaper one just to get some of it upgraded. But really, the only thing you're like really saving is like, we're not really saving that whole all that much in resources. So I'm like, I might as well just craft up what we actually need, and then we'll worry about that if we start dropping too low. I'm hoping 3 billion, trillion, quadrillion, 3 quintillion. I can never remember how much that is. Will last us for a little bit. If not, I will just let the world run with nothing running for a little bit. I'm really just trying to avoid having to set up quantum computers on the Dysons and spam more Dysons because you have to manually build them and blah, blah, blah before I update the pack. But anyway, yep, that is where we're at. So, yeah, that's going to be it for today. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good one.